That's pretty
What
good.
that's supposed to mean?
Is it broke? Did you break it? Oh, YouTube.
She gone.
Live streaming the Zoom.
Wait a minute, you're in one.
I'm gonna get 10 followers.
Yeah, maybe five.
It's like replaying.
Put out my rap album. It's gonna go aluminum.
Like 5 minutes ago. I-
Cameras on us at all angles tonight.
To your TV, we're at 5:31. I just hit 5:30. You ready to go to
Yes,
Sorry?
yes. So let me just,
Make sure nobody's standing.
yeah.
All right, good evening. It is somewhere here, Tuesday, April 29th at 5:30 PM. I'd like to call to order the Kaiser Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. So we are meeting in hybrid right now, and for the record, for purposes of quorum, we have 4 in person, 1 Parks and Rec board online. That's Jill and Gus. Hi, Jill.
Hi.
She's either on a spinning chair or on a merry-go-round, I'm not sure. All right, so, do we have any appearance of interested people?
No,
Here,
you want him to talk?
I don't know, do we want him to talk?
Do you want to talk to the board? That's no.
So,
Dad, is this your meeting
Hmm.
now? Or is it not happening?
It's happening.
It's
Oh, we're live right now, sir.
far more boring than I thought it would be.
Oh, wow.
All right, I love that. We do have a couple folks in the audience here. We've got, special guest, Mr. Johnson's son. Please tell me that here. We are here actually tonight to consider a matching grant for garbage can holders. And I'd like to invite Daniel Nelson to come on up, and you can tell us about your project, and you're welcome to invite your guest up with you if you want. If not, totally great. If you would, please state your name and city of residency for the record, and then tell us a little bit about your project, please. Make sure you get close to the mic and talk to everyone.
Okay,
This mic's on over here.
this one?
Yep.
The one with the fuzzy.
Okay, is that good? Yeah. Okay,
Jill, can you hear?
Yeah,
Perfect, thank you. Go ahead.
I'm Daniel Nelson, from Jervis, Oregon. And,
Jervis, you said?
yeah, Jervis.
Okay.
I'd like to present my project. As you said, I'm doing a garbage holder, can holder. So doing some of the research for this, I've looked at several different types of materials at Home Depot and Lowe's. And I've fixed up a price, including the work value, and depending on how much everything will cost. I've found that each can holder will cost around $100 to make each in materials. And then I've calculated about 60 hours of manual labor, including the process of making the can holders. And I've gotten a total of 2,300, roughly 2,300 in total value.
Okay, so you're asking for $1,000 from the grant, is that right?
Yep.
Or what do we have in the budget right now?
I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but it's like 3,000 to 4,000.
Daniel, I have a question. So it's a little bit difficult for me to understand the pricing. So to help me understand what you think you're spending $1,000 on.
So I'll be spending $1,000 on the materials to make the can holders.
Okay.
And I'm wanting to make about 10 of them. And so, yeah. To make 10 and each one costing around 100 to make. That's 1,000, and then the manual labor is about 1,000. But we won't be like paying them, but that's it's volunteer work. We just need the money to make. We just need the money to make the can holders.
And Chris, Don, I think Clay's online, but he might be on as an attendee and not a participant, so if you can swap him over to make sure he's an attendee, that'd be.
Thank you very much for noticing that.
Your remote battery is low. Extremely low. According to the TV. Okay, so you need about $1,000 to buy materials, and that's gonna include your composite lumber, all of your hardware, your paint, your concrete.
Yeah, that's correct.
Or when you built these originally, you think that's the ballpark, right?
Yeah, based on the type of composite lumber they're using, it's not cheap. I do think that's in the ballpark. Obviously, when we built ours, we reused a bunch of supplies we had on hand, but can I add one more little piece of info to this? So this general design was something that park staff came up with in the middle of winter. We were in the shop, had some materials laying around. We were sick and tired of our garbage cans blowing around in the wind and lids getting blown off. And we were like, how can we make this better? And we've all been to various parks and seen all kinds of different ideas of garbage can holders. And so we kind of all put our thoughts together and created this template, if you will, that's been installed down at Kaiser Rapids Park now for, what do you say, Lisa, about 2 years? More than 2, maybe 3. We love it. Everybody else in the park loves it. We get a lot of people saying, that is awesome. Where, you know, why don't you have more? And I always say, well, I need somebody to help us build some. And so I've pitched this idea to a couple different Eagle Scouts. One of which I thought was gonna run with the project, and I don't know, something came up and it didn't happen. Then Daniel came along the way and pitched it to him, and he thought it was a pretty cool idea too, so. He's probably gonna make a few tweaks to it, now that we've used it for 3 years. There's just some minor little tweaks and changes we would make. The general concept is still the same, the size and everything's still about the same, but just some very minor changes that he and I discussed out in the field on that. And we're excited to have more in our park system. These save us time. They're safer. You don't have to grab a dirty lid and lift it up, so cleanliness is there. The lids don't get blown in the wind. It keeps the garbage cans from filling up with water in the rain, which is a really big problem for our staff when we go to empty the garbage cans out. And the cans last longer because they're not getting pushed around with the wind and cracking and whatnot when they're chained to a post or tree or whatever they're chained to. So there's a lot of benefits for staff and park users. So we're excited about this project.
Did you put anywhere in your application you're doing this for Eagle Scout project?
So I guess,
Did you put anywhere in your application you're doing this for Eagle Scout project?
it's one separate page.
And if you did, great. I just didn't, I apologize. The reason I'm saying that is I was unprepared to say thank you for doing that and thank you for bringing this forward. I think it's great that you're doing this kind of project. In school, you're doing it for your Eagle Scout project. That's exactly what you're doing it for. So I have two. I have one follow-up question or comment. So as you're making modifications, Robert.
Mhm.
When you work with Robert, what I'd like to do is add a little bit of scope to your project. And what I mean by that is I want to help capture the design, right? To draw it out, do the measurements, stuff like that, so as you're doing it, because consistency matters, and so when the next Eagle Scout comes forward and wanna do this and build on the work that you're gonna do in this project potentially, make sure we have consistency, and then Robert's guys and his team have the ability to look at it and say, okay, this is how we're gonna do them all moving forward, so. That, and I think, to be honest with you, it would make for a really good board review packet. So when you have that, you can come forward and say, you know, I helped redesign this. You can bring forward then the schematic and the measurements and stuff like that, and I think, Dave, you sat on a couple of those. You think you'd like to see that, Eagle Board review?
Yes, would add a lot to the Eagle Board.
But you got any questions or thoughts? You always like commenting on grants.
Say Clay.
Oh, he's on.
Clay is
Oh,
on
I'm
Zoom.
sorry,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's okay. Maybe not.
He's shaking his phone now, so.
Okay.
Jill, you got anything? No, okay.
She's on mute too.
Mr. Shacker.
No, nothing. I think it's a great idea. Good job.
No complaints at all. I think it's a great project.
Started.
I know you're in favor.
Yeah,
You
no,
ain't-
I'm the biggest cheerleader of
What do you
this.
got, Liam?
Thanks, Chair. So Danny, I just had one question.
Yep.
It says, you're, gonna have the Knights of Columbus that they had,
Yeah.
for donation. How much were you asking for?
So there are a few other costs that we are looking for. It's not like required, but we'd like to have, we'd like to have an auger. It's an electric auger. It'll make like, digging the holes for the, can holders a lot easier. It's not a requirement that we need to have, but it would be nice to have. And then we'd like, so we're asking, I'm sorry, I should restart. We're asking the, Knights of Columbus for 300. We reached out to them, they haven't quite got back to us yet. But we're looking for food money to feed our workers. And then, yeah, the auger. That's what we're hoping to get from Knights of Columbus.
Thank you, Chair.
You ever use an auger?
No,
But not fun, especially if you find something you didn't want to find.
Mhm.
I built fences an extra long time. It's not awesome. Clay, did you have since you found the mute button, do you have anything to add? He's no longer on that participant.
Yeah,
He disappeared.
I'll back into the room. This one just says Zoom user, he may be completely offline.
Well, we're playing with technology, it's fun. Oh,
Okay,
hey,
now I'm back. Can you hear me?
yeah, we're down.
Okay, yeah, no, it sounds like a great project. Eager to see the schematics when they're updated.
All right. Somebody put something on the table here.
Sure, that's a good motion.
I second it.
You don't even know what she's gonna say.
yes, I do.
I move that we give, him $1,500, up to $1,500. And if he doesn't need it, that's fine, but this is probably the last project that we're going to be seeing this fiscal year. So I'd rather him have a little bit of wiggle room and not run out of money.
Who's gotta eat?
Yep, well, yes, there's you.
That's a very long convoluted motion.
I'll second that.
So,
Go
go ahead,
ahead.
Jill did. Okay. So the motion is to approve the grant and not to exceed $1,500, made by Lisa and second by Jill. Is there any additional discussion? So why are we doing $1,500? Well, I can tell you right now, that a bunch of projects come in and estimates are good. prices are going up, things get weird, and I wanna make sure you have the wiggle room necessary. And maybe you just find that you're doing these things much faster, and Robert says, hey, I got 5 more I can have you do. Right? Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. But I don't wanna leave you stranded, and I wanna make sure you can deliver on this project, with the appropriate, resources to be able to get this done, so. Any other comments? Robert, you go with that?
Mhm.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Jill?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously with a handful of folks absent. Daniel, congratulations. What I would love when you're done, if you're willing, come back, bring some pictures or just send pictures to Robert. And you can, if you want to come back and do a quick presentation, show us what you did, great, it's not required. But if you want to send some pictures and stuff to Robert, he can provide them to us. I'd really like you to brag on it, if I'm being honest, with the school project. Thanks for coming forward. It's been a couple years since we had a project.
Mhm.
So, yeah, good job. Especially coming from Jervis. That's awesome. All right. You're good to go. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, David, are you available on 19th to update the council on this one item?
I'll try. Yes, I can.
All right, our next board meeting will be June 10th. I'm gonna drop one quick thing for the good of the order. On April 26th, which was last Saturday, we did the official groundbreaking for the Kaiser Gold Star Family Memorial Monument. It's a really great event. It happened to be Ryan's birthday that day, so it was really special to be able to do that on Ryan's birthday. Just thankful for the counselors that were able to show up and participate in that. I think it was all but one, which is great. Do we have news we're allowed to share, Robert, or not yet?
Don't know what you're talking about.
Any grant news?
I'm not gonna share that right now.
Okay. We just gave one. It's a great grant.
It's great grant. It's good grant.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right. If there's nothing else for the good of the order, we will stand adjourned at 5:46.
Just in time to get the football practice.
And Dawn, when she called